Every modern city, every gleaming skyline, every monument to human ambition exists because of one object. An object so common, so ubiquitous, that we've almost forgotten it's there. This is its story. It's just a simple block of fired clay, the humble brick. But this small, unassuming object didn't just build our houses. It built our civilization. For thousands of years, our ancestors constructed their world with whatever they could find. They gathered wood, stacked stones, and packed mud. These early shelters offered a fragile defense against the elements, but would burn too easily, turning homes into pyres. Stone was immensely heavy, difficult to quarry, and painfully slow to shape. And mud, the most accessible material of all, would simply wash away in the rain, returning to the earth from which it came. Humanity needed something better, something stronger, more reliable, and more resilient. The answer, it turned out, was right beneath their feet. Someone, somewhere, discovered a kind of alchemy. They took ordinary clay, mixed it with water and sand, shaped it into a block, and placed it in a fire. What emerged was something entirely new. The heat transformed the soft, pliable clay into a material that was hard, durable, and resistant to both fire and water. This was the birth of the brick. But its true power wasn't just its strength. It was its uniformity. Bricks could be mass-produced, each one nearly identical to the last. This was revolutionary. For the first time, building wasn't just an art of improvisation. It became a science of repetition. A predictable system. Walls could now rise with astonishing speed and precision. The rhythmic stacking of bricks created a visual language of its own, a pattern of order and stability imposed upon a chaotic world. This new technology arrived just in time, because our growing settlements were facing a relentless enemy, fire. Early cities, built largely of wood and thatch, were tinderboxes. A single stray spark could ignite a blaze that consumed entire neighborhoods in hours. Great fires repeatedly wiped out decades of progress, turning bustling centers of life into fields of ash. Cities like London and Chicago learned this lesson the hard way. They needed a solution, a way to build that would stop the flames. Brick was the answer. It didn't burn. Rebuilding after a fire, city planners and architects turned to brick as the material of choice for a safer, more permanent urban landscape. Entire districts were reconstructed with brick, creating fire breaks that could contain future disasters. This simple, fireproof block made dense urban living viable. Cities could now grow upwards and outwards with a newfound sense of security. Brick buildings became symbols of permanence, safety, and prosperity. From grand cathedrals and fortified castles to the townhouses of a rising merchant class, brick was the foundation of the modern city. As the world entered the age of industry, the demand for brick exploded. The Industrial Revolution was built, quite literally, with bricks. Factories needed massive, strong walls to house heavy machinery. The sprawling mills of Manchester, the foundries of Pittsburgh, the warehouses lining canals and railways, all were constructed from billions of bricks. The rhythmic clatter of brick-making machines became the heartbeat of industrial progress. These vast brick structures housed the engines of change, creating the wealth and infrastructure that would define the modern era. They were functional, durable, and could be erected on a scale never before imagined. Eventually, new materials arrived to claim the spotlight. Steel gave us the skyscraper, allowing us to build higher than ever before. Plate glass wrapped our buildings in transparent skins, connecting the inside with the outside. Concrete offered unprecedented flexibility and strength. The age of brick, as the primary building material, began to fade. Today, we walk past brick walls every day without a second glance. They are the silent, steadfast background of our lives. We see them as old-fashioned, rustic, or simply part of the scenery. They are so reliable, so constant, that they have become invisible to us. We've forgotten the world they made possible. But if you look closely, you can still read their story. In the weathered face of an old factory wall, in the precise bond of a historic townhouse, in the simple, repetitive pattern that holds up the world around us. It's a quiet reminder that progress isn't always about dramatic leaps forward. Sometimes, it's about finding a simple, repeatable solution and building upon it, one block at a time. Every object has a story, even the ones we no longer see. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the story of the brick, please consider subscribing for more stories of the objects that shaped our world.